I just wanted to say a lot of things are starting to feel very familiar. I don't know if they're feeling familiar to other people. They're starting to feel very familiar. Um, these wars that are breaking out, these shootings, school shootings that are resurfacing. I feel like we haven't heard from them in a while or about them in a while. Some could have been happening, but we haven't heard. They're starting to speed up as we're going into spring. So that's starting to be a thing again. But some things are starting to feel like they're repeating a cycle. Even for myself. Because when things were happening out there in the chaos in the world, I was home. And I'm home again right now. So it's almost like I have a form of protection that constantly comes over me when the world goes into chaos. Either that or something else. I don't know. But I would say it's time for people to start preparing or get in the mindset that there might be another shutdown or some form of isolation that individuals or households are about to go into again. Does that mean you need to stock up and buy hella tissue? Not necessarily. I think those things will be available. I just think that people need to get their mindset together because the first time a lot of people were divided in households, apparently, like families started splitting because of political views and people just couldn't take the isolation. Could be some people had a lot of great financial loss. A lot of things that happened during that COVID time period. I think people need to think about that. And maybe a year or maybe like a year or 2 years into being stuck in a house, I was like, I'm going outside. I needed to travel. And I realized other parts of the world had opened up and they weren't as strict as, honestly, like I would say the North, or I don't know if this is East, West, or whatever. Well, the East Coast. But I traveled to Arizona. It wasn't as bad. I've traveled to, where else did I go? Yeah, I went to Arizona a couple times. But anyway, just be aware that, yeah, you might want to be somewhere that you have peace of mind as well. Depending on where you were during COVID, life was hell. But for some people, it was not. Even I'm thinking about it now, like, what can I do in this time of waiting? And if something like this does happen, how do I come out on top? Because some people came out and they became entrepreneurs. Some people were, they wasted the money that we have gotten, from like the stimulus checks and things like that. So, if you were to get another stimulus check, where would you put your money? Start doing research and all of the things. I just woke up from like a nap and I saw that there was a school shooting in Virginia. And so it just triggered this thought like, okay, so the thought of the cycle repeating is one thing, but in actualization, it might actually be happening. And if so, some of the people that I've seen or some of the stories that I've seen back when COVID and things like that happened, I took them as warnings. I started to have those conversations with family about like, oh, this stuff is looking like it's going to get serious. And I felt like it was, and people did not believe it, and it actually became what it was. So I guess I don't know, I felt like I should make a video and maybe warn people too, like, be aware that there is another shift going on and there's a great opportunity. as well to prepare, and also to probably get used to the isolation right now. I know spring is coming, summertime is coming, and people are gonna want to be outside. Might be a nice hoorah for the time period, and then when the next fall come back around, it might be a shocking moment for some people, and you might forget what's going on now in March and what's been going on since Christmas, December last year, and January of this year, and February. We might forget what has been going on because after a while, some stories might get, swept under the rug. They might get covered up. We might stop paying attention when the world starts to open up. But let this be a reminder that as of March, a whole bunch of shit is going on. And some shit just don't disappear, even if you stop hearing about it. Like I said before, poverty does not disappear just because you are no longer poor. So, in order for you not to forget, after you've listened to this video, write down some plans, some things you want to have in your house, some things you might want to do if given the opportunity to get a large lump sum of money, some maybe some online courses you want to take. You might want to look and see when they start and have them already in way to set up for the fall or whatever. Just start pre-doing some things. So if in case something like this happen, you're able to have your mind right, you've already prepared, and you have resources that you want to get into, or whatever it may be. I say.